Hello, beautiful people. This is Xaenex, and this is State of the Kingdom Episode 2. This week, we have myself, GM Obspho, Saito, Pockets, and a brand new panelist, Ryuichi. What's up, Ryuichi?
Hey!
So, introduce yourself to us. You're brand new to the podcast. We had to have you on. I think you have some interesting insights. So, why don't you begin by saying your server, which server you play on, your main character's name and level, and when did you begin playing Our Kingdom?
Okay, so I play on Hydra server, and it's Ryuichi, R-U-I-C-H-I, and level 58, and I played Our Kingdom since closed beta. I didn't get to play Founders, but I've played since then.
That's cool. It's really nice having you on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Alright, so let's jump right in. GM Obspho, I have a very important question, probably the most important question we'll ever discuss in this podcast episode.
The answer is 42.
Is there an update on our banana suit?
So far, we're having difficulties with the banana suit. Unfortunately, we were shipped the green version when we specifically requested yellow. So there's kind of been a hold up on that. It's coming. It's absolutely coming. Banana suit. Yes.
Are you sure? We don't want to have any broken hearts.
I sure hope so.
Alright, that's good to know. So guys, this week we actually saw the removal of the Founders Pack and a spike in the loyalty shop prices. What did you guys think?
Okay, well, as to the Founders Packs themselves, I mean, first off, obviously, we all knew it was coming because they can't stay around forever. They were actually initially planned to be removed sooner than when we actually took them. But since we ended up adding a new server, we wanted to make sure they were giving the new people joining the game sufficient time to purchase them. And we felt that, it was more than enough time for people to be able to get it if they're interested in that.
Yeah, I was actually surprised it was around for a while, because I thought the whole point of the Founders Pack was to, play the game before open beta, to get your name, things like that. And then once open beta came out, I expected, even with the new server, I expected the Founders Pack not really to be there, but I don't know, it was interesting.
Well, I like to comment on that. It's mostly because of the item that's in the supply pack that a bunch of people use their money to just buy a bunch of it to save it so that they can sell it for higher profit when it's gone. That's mostly the reason why they did that, because there's armor scrolls, fortifications, events, other things like that they could sell for a high price, and it's cheaper.
Oh, true. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
That was actually a pretty big deal, because I think it was normally it would come out to about $35, and instead you're paying $20 for the amount of scrolls that you're getting. So yeah, I also heard about that. I myself was surprised that it wasn't removed sooner as well. I really thought even a week into open beta we would have removed them, or they would have been removed.
See, that was the interesting aspect of them, is that it was not just an early access buy-in. There actually were quite a few good items in there that we know that a lot of players appreciated. So while it did work to get you early access, there was still a lot of interest in it after the fact. So we definitely kept it around for a while just to make sure that people who were still starting off to the game had a chance to get into that.
Well, that's fair. That's definitely fair. What did you think about the spike in the loyalty shop prices? Now, to my understanding, this was explained as the loyalty shop prices, how they used to be. They were only supposed to be around for the initial founders, and once the packs went away, the normal prices were instated. But
now, I know that's kind of a controversial thing among the community, so I'll let the other panelists voice in on that first, and then I'll kind of go upon our reasoning for that a bit.
I mean, there was a lot of people that was complaining about it just because they were using their loyalty to buy the charms, like the lucky charms and things like that. But I mean, personally, I don't know, like I actually had to work now to be able to get stuff that I wanted in the loyalty shop, so I was just like, what? But I mean, it wasn't too bad to be honest, especially with the new updates and the item mall that came afterwards. So it wasn't too bad in my opinion.
Well, I myself, I was extremely surprised when I logged. I was more so surprised that it was unannounced, and then that the prices were what they were, because I just never saw them changing. Because I actually have a $300 pack where I had received 6,500 loyalty points, and I held on to them. I was like, you know what, I don't need to spend them right now. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I really held on to them. I was like, I could stock up on charms and I could do this, but I'd rather wait.
It's interesting that you say that, because part of the reasoning for keeping them at what they were, and I should actually go into a bit of background on why it was changed. This was actually, the prices for loyalty were set in advance to be what they are now, and it was planned to be changed like that. The reason they're originally a different price was for two reasons mostly. One was because it was a very new game, and a lot of people did not have access to very many loyalty points at the time. So we did want to make sure that new players just starting off would be able to actually purchase a good amount of items from the loyalty shop. So basically, it was kind of a way to give new players a boost. But the other main reason for that, which is interesting you kind of bring that up, is we also wanted to make sure that players who had received Founders Packs would be able to put their loyalty points to good use. So that's part of why it was initially kept so low. However, it is kind of normal within any game to expect currency rate changes. It's part of a normal cycle of a game. And prices for various things, they often rise and fall, just really depending on the game's economy, player base, several other factors. But I know this was already announced on the forums, I believe, but there is some new content coming very soon that actually will allow players to get a lot more loyalty points than they did before. So that should also help players as well.
Oh, Scott, I guess I just wish there was more of a heads up.
Yeah, that's really my
definitely.
issue with it, because it wasn't like you said, many games do have currency hikes or price hikes, so on and so forth. That's nothing new, but it was just the whole unannounced factor of it that I stay pretty engaged with the community, and I had no idea that it was coming. So I kind of felt robbed of that opportunity, because I was like, I'm just the sort of person to kind of hold on to. I never expected any changes to come. There wasn't really no heads up about it, and I really would have stocked up at the original prices had I known, because 60 and even with the upcoming changes that make loyalty points easier to achieve, I feel that kind of also robs people of the whole fact of that they spent $300 and got 6,500 points, when now, like, say you didn't play the game or you didn't spend your points as much as you could have before. Now it's kind of like, well, I'm still.
Well, I wouldn't say exactly rob some of that, because the opportunity was there the entire time. However, as far as communication goes, I mean, that's definitely something we can pass along. Whether or not that's something that we can improve on in the future, well, we can look into that. But I mean, again, it was an intended thing, and the opportunity was there. But I definitely hear your feedback on that as well, and we can definitely pass that on.
Yeah. It was just the whole unannounced factor that kind of threw me for.
Well, this is how I look at it. The price increase for loyalty for like our advanced charms and whatnot, but there's there was good came out of it. There's new costume that people can now get with loyalty. So I thought it was just like a trade-off, and I didn't really think much of it, because honestly, if you play the game every day, there's many ways to get loyalty, many chances to get loyalty. Adelon Templo, I mean Temple. You got the daily quests, like a bunch of daily quests. There's
Quite
many
a few more
opportunities.
ways coming soon as well.
Yeah.
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 The issue isn't really just the receiving of the loyalty points. I actually like how the game is progressing in that area. It was just like, I just, it's kind of like because in my mindset, these were what the prices were going to be, because there was no announcement, or I never saw an announcement or any plan stated by the GMs that the prices would rise over time or would rise anytime in the near future. So to me, I was just like, why would I ever touch them? I kind of like having 5,500 loyalty points, and as I need them, then I'll spend them. Especially since I haven't really doled out any money for the item mall as of yet, which I do actually like what's been happening in that area as well.
Well, definitely a lot more plans for that as well in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it was last Friday, we had GM Leo conduct an official stream for our kingdom.
I think Saturday, yeah.
Oh, Saturday. Yes, sorry. Yeah, it was last Saturday. And it was pretty awesome. It was a 1 hour stream, and it featured the Qatar class and fishing. So what did you guys think of this stream?
That was nice. Yeah, the Qatar class. If I wasn't a bard, I'd be all over it. But I mean, yeah, I can't really be a Qatar subclass. But if I could, I would.
I would probably just like try 10 minutes and then quit it.
It depends on what your particular play style is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, some people will be really, really into that, and I know that I personally was actually pretty excited to see that.
Me too.
Which I did get to play around with it a bit before myself, and it definitely seemed like it was a lot of fun. It also seems like it's going to require a good focused play style to really excel at, which is really nice, because it's cool to have a class that you can do okay at, but to really just be able to excel, you just really need to focus on it. So it's nice to see that.
Yeah. And did you know they can heal themselves? I was so excited about that. I mean, it's less work for me as a bard.
But yeah, there's also some other cool stuff that you showed off. I think we also showed off Oblitus Wood in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, fishing, which it was very cool to see that and realize that Leo is actually terrible at fishing.
What did he get? He got like shoes and stuff, or cans. What did he get?
Empty bottle.
Something like that. And also, I feel it's very important that we do need to touch upon the fact that did show off the Sasquatch mob, which we're all very, very fond of here in the office. And you guys will.
That thing with the little duck face, but it didn't
yes,
look like
that is the Sasquatch. We're trying to see if we can make that our official mascot. So far.
Are you serious?
Okay, maybe not entirely serious, but
okay.
It was a mascot.
Yeah, what I liked, one of the things I really took away from the stream was the machine fairy looking mob that was, I think it was in Oblitus Wood. I really liked it, and they seemed pretty strong. I'm not sure what the ratio between Leo's level 75 and them being like level 53 were, because it seemed like they were doing quite a bit of damage. But
well, that's always something that's kind of hard to gauge, because usually when we're doing the streams for stuff like that, we're doing it on our GM characters that may not actually be geared or statted as a normal player would be.
Exactly.
Often we use the characters for testing various things, so it's kind of hard to judge something like that. But you guys will be able to tell that for yourself once the content actually comes out.
Yeah, I wasn't really focused on their difficulty or anything like that. I just thought they looked really cool, because they're really eye-catching. I really just liked how detailed they were. Definitely one of my most favorite mobs I've seen in the game so far.
Well, that's one thing that we've always appreciated about. Well, that's a whole nother level right there, Sasquatch.
Okay.
That's one thing we've always really appreciated about working with X Legend is they're constantly coming out with just like new gorgeous designs, different creatures that they're just like really interesting, and I mean even just running around in the world itself, it's just this beautifully rendered world that we just love watching.
What did you think, Pockets, of the stream?
Yeah, I was quite excited to see the Katar class, especially the new mechanism that they've put into the Katar, like the sky and the earth abilities, and like it could be very handful in PvP battles, like when to use it or whether not to use it. So yeah, I was pretty excited to see the Katar class. I probably will switch to Katar class since I'm a Ramager main. So, but yeah, if I like the Katar class, I might be able to make a new character with the Katar. Also, the dungeon was quite interesting, especially the last boss where he almost killed the GM at level 75. Yeah, but he was able to heal himself with the potions and like his Katar skills. But yeah.
Definitely some cool stuff coming out there.
How excited are you guys about the Katar class on a scale of 1 to 10?
1 for me. I just want to fish. I'm sorry.
Not many people get this excited about fishing normally.
Fishing.
Yeah.
It's not known for being the most throwing activity most of the time.
Oh.
But I actually like the fishing feature though. It actually looks like it's fairly engaging and it looks like it'll actually be fun.
GM also, why don't you implement or like suggest to X Legend that we start fishing for the banana suit?
Why would people just throw that into a lake?
Hey, it doesn't need to be logical. It just needs to be there.
A kind of legendary quest line for that.
What?
Slay the 7-headed beast of and collect 10,000 purple rocks, and we're working on that one. It's coming.
Okay.
I'm actually quite excited with the fishing as well. Most likely because I like to see the bosses for the fishing. I'm very keen to seeing that.
Yeah, I'm really interested in the bosses, and I like the fact that the game runs on a time schedule, so where like the bosses are going to spawn at this, and this time. I personally like that, even though sometimes the times get a little bit controversial for the player base.
Is it gonna be based off of EST times, or are Australian people, for example, gonna have to wake up at 3 in the morning to go catch that fish? What is this?
Well, first off, the server is definitely EST as to where it's based on. As far as whether or not stuff like that can be changed, that's something we're looking into, and I think we're also going to be touching upon that little later on, as far as to how the time zone interacts with various aspects of the game. But yeah, that's for now. I can tell you that's definitely something we're looking into.
Yeah. Can you say that again? Was it EST for Eastern or PST for Pacific?
Server time is actually EST. The servers
Eastern.
are actually they're located in Canada.
Okay. What do you think, or at least hope, will be a part of the next Arcanum official stream?
Guild Wars, but that's probably not gonna happen anytime soon.
Right.
Well, I can tell you what's going to be on there, but let's hear.
Oh, can you tease us with something?
Let's hear what you guys say.
I want to hear.
He would have to kill us. No, if he tells us.
I want to hear what you guys are looking forward to first. Then I'll go into that a bit.
Oh, and then you'll tell us? Okay.
I'm looking forward to new PvP.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Especially when you see the arena right now, like you have to capture the stone or kill the stone. So I'm pretty sure they'll probably base the guild wars on that. Like you got the different areas. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for improvement in the PvP system, mostly because I really dislike how it's being done in the current one. Because let's say you go into a party and like it's not organized well, and you have like high levels, low levels, and then there's like if your team has no bard, they'll be like, no bard, okay, log out, see you guys, and that's
Oh yeah.
no
Oh,
joke.
wow.
Yeah,
No
they
joke.
need some kind of balance like that. I mean, if you have
Yeah.
no healer, that's a problem. And then I'd be like level 58, and I would have 2 level 40s on my team. When we're up against like a whole team of level 59s, and we're just like, well, I guess we lost, guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
And there's no penalty
Yeah.
system, so they just
Yeah.
log out. It doesn't matter to them.
yeah, they just
Or they
they
stay
play.
AFK. Definitely.
Oh,
Some of them
that
actually
right
just
there, yeah.
disconnect, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just like 4v5 or 3v5 or how it is. And what's because also people on the other side of the world, they have difficulty trying to get there for arena times as well. There's some guildies that were complaining about that. They're just like, oh, we can only get there for like 1 or 2 arenas, whereas you guys can get there for almost all of them. So, I mean,
Well,
that's a
you know,
problem.
I mean, again, that's definitely something we're going to touch upon in a little bit. But I mean, there's definitely a lot of things that we're considering for stuff like that. However, just again, this is more of what we're looking forward in the next actual stream, because I'm sure there's tons and tons of content and different things that everyone wants to see.
That's true.
But I can give you guys kind of a bit of a sneak peek of the sneak peek if you guys would like.
Yeah, no, we totally
sneak
want
peek.
it.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes.
Yeah. Well, first off, for the future Twitch events, we do have a lot more stuff planned to show off, and we're also working on showing off more stuff in forum posts as well. So expect like screenshots and stuff like that. So definitely just keep watching forums, and there should be more info coming soon. And also, I can let you know that you may be hearing a new GM voice on the Twitch soon. So
cool.
yeah, there might be some more people in there. Yeah,
Do they
it might
not
be.
like Leo's fishing or his dancing and nude?
We love Leo. We love Leo. I'm just saying that you may hear someone else as well.
Nice.
So anyway, as to what is going to be shown in the next one, I can tell you right now is it's planned to actually show off a new zone, Star Sand Desert, as well as ranking rewards, which that, as far as I recall, is going to be one of the new ways you can get loyalty points as well as other things. So not the stuff you guys were hoping for, I know, but that's what we have planned for now. There's definitely a lot more that will be shown off fairly soon. So just keep watching it, and you'll see more stuff.
Yeah, ranking system was nice. The ranking system, I like that.
Yeah, I like the ranking system as well. Banana sets.
Is it gonna be this? Is it gonna
I have
be
a
this,
feeling that this banana suit thing is going to haunt me for the rest of the year.
this podcast?
We're just chanting it to you, you know, just brainwashing you.
Oh my god.
Is the ranking thing is gonna be where you can check the survival mode, something along that line, or or am I thinking of the wrong thing? Where
That I don't unfortunately have too much information on
Okay.
at the moment. I do know that there were talks about that we're having, but that's something that I don't really have too much info on right now. So my
I
apologies.
see. Okay.
Let's move right into the new items on the item mall. What did you guys find to be the most helpful? And can you even go over some of the items that were added to the item mall?
The cat backpack is adorable, and you guys should get it. And oh, I have
Oh my
one
God.
complaint though. Okay, no, Pocket's already heard about this complaint, but you know the one costume that they added onto the loyalty shop? It was what was it? It was the one for the females, but it's a brand new one. You can get
Big
it.
ass.
Yes. Okay, what is up with that? The butt is too big. There's like a proportional butt that looks nice, but that was just too big. It's like no, it's like I understand it's the 18th century costume, but it just doesn't look right.
Her costume
Develop-
brings all the boys to the yard.
Yeah, I guess the developers like big
I can-
butts.
I can tell that I
Better
cannot lie.
costume, to be honest.
I can tell they put a lot of study into this, obviously.
I mean,
Well, I mean, honestly, that's I don't really have an answer for that.
What's
Since
inside?
we don't
It should
generally
be proportional. Okay.
right. But you're always welcome to pass on feedback, and we can definitely let the developers know that they need to adjust the butt
Proportion.
metrics of their
Yes, the
Buttocks.
proportion of the app is very important.
The gluteus maximus.
Wow.
This may actually take precedence over the banana suit. I'm sorry to say.
Okay, no, this is really important, guys. Okay.
Ooh.
Well, one thing I would have a complaint about that I don't know if I should mention, I might get a lot of hate for this, is that the backpacks and all the other items, there was a bug for like an hour after I didn't realize this. I came on and there like a bunch of people had stats on the item that wasn't supposed to have stats on, and they got that by using the costume restructure something name, the potion that you get with loyalty point or cash out. Was that intended? And probably not intended because you guys removed it, patched it in like I don't know. I think they said in an hour. So what was that about? Is that going to be fixed, or are people going to have stats on their backpack?
And I'm sorry, you're referring to the ones from Item Mall?
Yes, the item mall one, where
Right.
yes.
That still looking into right now. Unfortunately, that was one of the things that I personally did not have so much to do with. So honestly, that's something that could be better answered by probably either production or one of the other GMs that focused on that more. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm really sorry. I do not have an answer for that at this time.
That's fine. I just seemed like it was unfair to other players who like bought the backpack thinking there would be stats and then getting fooled because the other people use like some exploit to get the stats on it. But I just wanted to mention that.
Well, I mean, it's definitely something we can always look into. And I know I say it a lot, but you guys are always welcome just to contact us. And just give us either feedback or just let us know your thoughts on something, and we will definitely take it under consideration.
The GMs are frightening. You will ban us. Like, I was so afraid.
I'm a nice guy.
GM also is very nice.
Maybe.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay.
I was already banned once from the chat. I don't want to get in trouble again.
Oh wow.
Let's be honest.
I heard about your exploits.
No.
Tisk. Alright, so let's get into this week's questions, guys.
Okay.
Anime Fan 9001 asks, do you plan to catch us up to the other versions in terms of content and release on the same schedule as them? Or do you plan to implement content releases on a different schedule?
Okay, well, first off, we kind of need to go into why we release things at the time that we do and the way we do. A lot of content releases, it's very much based upon the availability of our developers themselves. Because to release any new content, it requires a lot of support from them, which they're not always able to do when they're trying to focus on releasing their own content. So we always need to make sure that we just have proper support when we're actually releasing it. And a few other reasons, we also like being able to see how various aspects of the game work first before we actually bring them over to our version. And also just bear in mind that if we're to release a bunch of content at once, that would most likely result in a lot of rushed patches that just leads to subpar quality, and it also builds some kind of false player expectations as to what to expect for the future. Because if you're seeing a bunch of patches come out at once, players are going to be expecting that for forever. However, we do make sure that we keep an eye on both player activity as well as watching for content exhaustion. And in the past, we have moved various patches around when we felt it necessary. Like examples of a few of the things that we received around the same time as the original version would be swimming. I believe there are a lot more dances added for both at the same time. The die system, I believe, as well. And there's other things that we've received at around the same time as the original version. So again, I mean, it really depends on how we feel the community is doing at the time. But that's kind of our rationale for how we release things and when we do it.
And he asks, if you plan to implement the content on a different schedule, would you be willing to change up or speed up that schedule provided there is enough demand for the player base?
Well, that kind of goes back to what I was saying about, rushing through patches. Generally not a good idea to do so. I mean, and again, it really does depend on how we're seeing the community doing, as well as how the current content is holding up. So we have been able to change things around like that before, but generally rushing through patches is not a good thing to do.
Lafis asks about Arena and Guildhall. Current summon time and Arena is EST. Players have discussed how the time is very inconvenient for some people, especially those on the Southeastern Asian region that have 10 to 14 hours time differences. Will there be any changes to the schedule?
Okay, so this is what we were discussing earlier in today's podcast, and as I said, we'd be touching upon it again. So first off, and I do have to say this, and I realize this is not something that everyone wants to hear, but unfortunately there will always be a time that's inconvenient for someone. Especially since we have players from all around the world, unfortunately there's not really a good way to cater towards every single player. However, we also do realize that certain events and times are inconvenient for various people, and we don't want them to feel excluded. So while I can't say that there's anything definitely planned, we actually have been monitoring that, and in the past we have made adjustments to various events like that, and we're going to keep monitoring that to see if that's something that we're going to need to do again, because again, we want to make sure that we aren't excluding particular people.
Maybe we could just add more arena times. And I feel like that would be an easy fix for at least arena.
Well, that's one thing that we're looking into. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that there actually is a lot more content planned that would be occurring at those times. However, it's something that we kind of need to play by ear and adjust if we get content.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. That seems to be a popular issue in the community, so it's a good thing that you guys are actually monitoring it.
Well, I mean, we do have to recognize that we have a lot of players from all over the world.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it is difficult to find something that works for everyone. Yeah. I mean, one of the common complaints that I see from people is about the time of maintenance. Like, why do you guys do maintenance at such an inconvenient time? Well, that depends on picking a time where both us and our developers are in the office, which, since they're in Asia, means that we have to pick a time that's kind of late for us, but we're still in the office. So, I mean, stuff like that. Obviously, it's not going to work for everyone. But unfortunately, it's so hard to find a time that does work for every single person. So it's still something that we're looking into, though.
Awesome. And Copacetic asks, will the 10 vs 10 PvP be implemented soon-ish? And if so, will we be able to make any pre-made parties? Will pre-made parties ever be implemented for any form of PvP?
Okay, well, as far as 10 vs 10 itself, that specific content we don't actually currently have a date for. So, will it be implemented soonish? We haven't heard anything about that. However, there are a lot of other forms of PvP we're looking at right now that actually are in the works, and we know that PvP is actually important to a lot of players. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure that people who are into that are able to be satisfied. So that, in particular, we don't have a date for, but there is other stuff planned. And now, as far as pre-mades go, that's something that we actually like the concept. We agree with player feedback on being able to form a pre-made party. However, that is something that would be up to our developers. So we've passed that feedback along and let them know our thoughts on it, but that's something that it would be their decision as well. So while I can't tell you yes or no, I can tell you that, we like the idea and we pass it on.
Awesome. What do you guys think about that? The fact that pre-mates are at least being suggested and sent towards X Legend.
Well, I'm glad that they're actually thinking about it, because that was one of the biggest things that really surprised me when I first started playing the game, was that Arena and Battlefield were not pre-made, and it was with a lot of random people. If you time it right, sometimes you can be with maybe your guildies or your friends, but it's still like, you would still want a pre-made party for the true PvP experience that a lot of people are looking for. Just because you would have better teamwork for one thing, and you can have a bard in your team. So, I'm glad that they're actually looking into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is actually kind of a good indicator of how we actually handle player feedback, which I feel that a lot of people are unclear on that, because generally the process goes something along the lines of someone passes us some feedback, whether it's in a forum post or a request ticket or anything like that, and they're going to get pretty much the same kind of response every time, saying, thanks for your feedback, we're going to look into it. Now, unfortunately, a lot of players take that to mean that their ideas are not being considered, which is definitely not the case. Unfortunately, what I think a lot of people look for in that is a response along the lines of, what a brilliant idea, we're absolutely going to implement that, which that's not really something we can say, unfortunately, because for any new system or anything like that, it's generally something that requires a lot of involvement on several levels. We need to talk it over here, we need to talk it over with the developers, and if anything goes wrong at any point, or someone doesn't like the concept, then that means that we're not going to be able to go with it. So that's kind of why we're usually unable to actually commit to saying we're going to do something when people give us feedback. But as far as it goes, it definitely is considered and definitely is passed along. So anyway, sorry to kind of take it off on a tangent there, but I felt that was kind of a good thing to let people know about.
That's good though, because not many games have that kind of, system where you would put in feedback, you put in suggestions, but people usually don't see it happening because they already have a set schedule that the GMs and the developers were following, and they don't really look at the feedback. But it's good to know that at least with AK, they're looking at the feedback.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So, do you guys have any final comments or any final thoughts you'd like to share?
Banana suit.
I did not
More
see that coming.
importantly, the butt on that
I'm
dress
gonna be
is
having
too
nightmares
big,
about
and it
that.
needs to be proportional. Okay.
Nightmares about this. I'm going to wake up in the night screaming, no, bananas.
Give it to us. Give it to us, Jim.
Yeah.
All right, guys. With that being said, I have a brand new, exciting opportunity for all of our viewers. At the end of each episode, we will be asking you a question. Wait, does someone want to say something real quick? Oh, I thought I heard something. Okay, as I was saying, at the end of each episode, we will be asking you one question. The answer to this question will be found somewhere within this week's podcast, so make sure you listen to the entire thing. And if you answer this correctly, you'll be entered into a giveaway to win a special prize related to our kingdom from 2p.com. In order to be entered into the giveaway, please make sure you answer the question in the comments section for the 2p page linked in this video's description. Please make sure you do not comment on the forum post at Area Games, or do not make your answer in the YouTube video. Make sure you comment at the 2p page linked in this video's description. Following them is very important. This week's question is a shout out to Ruichi. What is the name of our new panelist? Pretty simple. She even spelled it out for you guys. So, yes. So make sure you spell it correctly, because if you do not, you will not be entered into the giveaway. And it's a pretty awesome prize. Yes, you spelled it out for a reason. You have to do it justice.
Guys, you have to spell my name right.
I think it starts with an R.
Is that Richie with a Q? Pretty sure it's Q in there.
She did spell it out, so please make sure you listen to the entire podcast, and please look forward to next week's episode. So, do you guys have any goodbyes, alohas?
You can find me at SaitoSempai. I make stupid videos around Aura Kingdom, and I'll be making a series soon for it. So there you go.
He's being modest. This video is actually pretty awesome. So you can find him at youtube.com/SaitoSempai. SaitoSempai. See, that's how you do a plug, bro. Come on. You guys can find me on youtube.com/XaenexTV. XaENEXTV. Got choked up there for a second.
Can't even spell your own name.
Right? It's so good having you guys on. It was really nice having you, Ruichi. You gave really good insight, and you're pretty awesome.
Yay, thank you. I think you're awesome too.
Oh, thank you everyone for joining. It was, as always, a pleasure to be here.
It's always going to be awesome having you here. He was saying before the podcast began recording that I've never seen a podcast that has a consistent GM presence every week. So that's something you guys can definitely look forward to, having GM Obspho here.
Well, we're just happy to be able to have a way to actually reach out to the community.
And it's definitely good having you here, GM.
I appreciate that.
All right, guys, please stay tuned for next week's episode. In the Aura Kingdom area forums post, please make sure you submit your questions for next week. So thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful and beautiful day. Stay beautiful.
Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Banana suit. Please check out the featured artist for this series.